Today's game features Carlsen, Magnus playing as white against guest 1 as black. Move 1. White pushes forward to d4. Meanwhile, black pawn moves to f5. White now plays brings out the knight to c3, establishing a spatial advantage. Black plays develops the knight naturally, preparing for rapid development. Move 5. White places the bishop on g5, keeping an eye on the time. Black now plays advances to e6. White responds with advances the pawn. Black brings out the dark squared bishop, and here occupies the center with the pawn. Interestingly, black brings out the knight to e4. White plays bishop takes the bishop. Black plays queen captures the bishop on e7. White knight captures knight. At this point, black pawn captures knight, creating a solid foundation. We're at move 15. White controls key squares with the pawn. Continuing, black kingside castle. White brings out the queen to g4. Continuing, pushes forward to d5. White pawn captures piece. Moving forward, black pawn takes the pawn. Interestingly, queen snaps up the pawn. Black improves the knight's position, creating tactical motifs. White bishop slides to d3. Black responds with advances to g6. The idea behind this move is clear. We're at move 25. White maneuvers the knight to f3 as time becomes precious. Black pushes to e5. White pawn takes the pawn. Black pawn takes pawn on e5. Meanwhile, white castles to safety. Black plants the bishop on f5, creating complications. White bishop slides to c4. With check, preparing to break through, black steps the king to g7, intensifying the pressure. White now plays slides the queen to e3. Black now plays doubles rooks on the file. On move 35, white rook to d1. Black pawn to a6, targeting weak pawns. With time starting to run short, white bishop slides to d5, fighting for the initiative. And here, black repositions the bishop for better activity. A solid positional move. White plays advances to h3. It's black's turn. Takes the knight with the bishop, an error in judgment. Continuing, white bishop snaps off the bishop, demonstrating technique. Black rook captures rook. White rook captures rook. Now, black moves the rook to f4. On move 45, white activates the rook in the endgame, in time trouble. Black queen shifts to f6. Playing on the increment alone. White now plays bishop eliminates the knight. Black pawn takes bishop. In severe time trouble. Now, takes the pawn with the queen. Black responds with queen trades queen, simplifying. An error in judgment. Fighting the clock. White rook snaps off the queen, with time ticking away. Black rook to f6. Scrambling to find moves. Interestingly, white rook swings to a5, activating the king. Black moves the rook to d6, executing the plan. With almost no time remaining. On move 55, white pushes to b3. Black brings the king forward, with the clock about to expire. White pawn moves to c4. The win is within reach. Black king walks to e7. Nearly out of time. White rook captures pawn. Moving forward. Black king moves to d7. Precise calculation required here. With only seconds left on the clock. It's white's turn. Cuts off the enemy king with the rook. And that's check. Black plays king to e6. On the brink of losing on time. White takes the pawn with the rook. The opposition is key here. Black responds with brings the rook to d1. Discovering check. Improving piece activity. Playing in extreme time pressure. On move 65, white king steps to h2. Black plays rook to d2. With the clock ticking to 0. White king to g3. Pressing the advantage. Guest 1 resigns. Carlsen, Magnus wins the game.